Welcome. The Ice Bucket Challenge has spurred a lot of interest lately into cryotherapy and using cold water techniques for mental health purposes. So in this video, I'll dive into the research behind this topic and what it says about how you can use these principles to support your mental health. When stress and anxiety arise, it can feel like your body and mind are racing. You might feel tense, restless, or on edge. Our bodies have a natural way of reacting to stress, and sometimes that reaction can become overwhelming. The research I've been looking at suggests that cold water exposure can be a powerful tool for managing these feelings. Some studies indicate that cold water immersion might help reduce stress, and some research even suggests it can relieve anxiety. This is based off of the Wim Hof method. Participants in studies have described it as a mindful experience that brings them into the present moment, which can be a welcome break from racing thoughts. The benefit isn't just from distraction, though, because while cold water can definitely make us notice what's happening right in front of us, kind of shock to the system, exposure to cold water can potentially decrease symptoms linked to an overactive nervous system, like the fight or flight response that often kicks in with anxiety and agitation. At a biochemical level, cold water can trigger the release of neurotransmitters like serotonin, which plays a key role in regulating mood. One study even found that participants felt less distressed and nervous after a cold water bath. Now I'm going to connect cold water techniques to something called the window of tolerance. Think of the window of tolerance as your optimal zone of emotional arousal. When you're in this window, you can effectively manage your emotions, think clearly, and handle stress in a healthy way. Now, when things get overwhelmed and sort of agitated, you start to get really stressed, then you start to get up into the upper realm of this window. That's called hyperarousal. You start to sweat, your muscles tense, you sort of feel like running or fighting. It's the fight or flight response. It's tough to think rationally or calm yourself down with typical cognitive techniques, like counting down from 100 by subtracting 7, when you're in this hyper-aroused state. That's where something like cold water can be incredibly helpful. The sudden intense sensation of cold water can act as a physiological reset button. It can jolt your system and help you back down into your window of tolerance. The study on short-term whole-body cold water immersion even used functional magnetic resonance imaging, so fMRI, to look at brain activity and found that it facilitated positive affect and emotions and increased the interactions between large aspects of our brain. So basically like increased connectivity in different aspects of our brain, different areas of our brain. Specifically, they found changes in connectivity involving areas which are typically involved in self-awareness and emotional processing. So how can you actually use this? You don't need to jump into an ice bath right away. There are some other strategies that you can use that sort of emulate and maybe to a less intense way, but still provide a bit of the same effect for you. So you can splash some cold water on your face, even a few seconds can help. Take a short burst of cold water at the end of your shower. So start warm and then turn the water to cold for like 15 to 30 seconds. Try and turn your whole body around, get as much of your body in that cold water as possible. You can submerge your hands or wrists in cold water. Remember to always listen to your body and start small. This isn't about shocking yourself entirely, but about using a physical sensation to help regulate your emotional state. It's just another strategy to add to your toolbox, essentially. And it's important to understand that cold water is a tool for self-regulation. And while it can provide immediate relief, it's not a magic cure. If you're consistently struggling with agitation and anxiety that's impacting your life, counseling can provide you with some deeper insights, coping strategies, and help you expand your window of tolerance over time. So give some of these strategies a try the next time you're feeling overwhelmed and let me know what you think. Think of this video as your invitation to a mental health cold water challenge. Thanks.